This is something new that I'm going to start to do for my page, and it's Star Wars canon novel reviews. If you guys want more like this, then stay around till the end where I will explain it more, but let's get right into this. Star Wars Dark Disciple is the 5th novel in the new Star Wars canon, and it's inspired by the Clone Wars arc that was supposed to be in Season 7 until Disney canceled the show. The first part of this review will be a brief summary of the novel, and then I'll get into some spoiler content for those that want to know what happens but don't feel like reading the novel. Dark Disciple starts with the Jedi Council assigning Quinlan Vos to assassinate Count Dooku, aka Darth Tyrannus. But the Council believes he needs help, so, with this, they ask him to go to Asajj Ventress, someone who has tried to assassinate Dooku in the past. The Council was hesitant on this because of how dark this path is, but as the saying goes, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And yes, I just threw a Star Trek quote into a Star Wars review. Deal with it. Anyway, the Council informs Quinlan not to tell Asajj that he's a Jedi. He tracks Asajj down, and at the moment, she is still a bounty hunter, and he gets in the way of a bounty. Some other stuff happens, and well, they end up in a bar together and they become partners. They visit planets like Mustafar for a bounty, nice little side arcs to establish their relationship as partners, which was nice to see. And well, later, Quinlan finally tells her that he's a Jedi because he needs to assassinate Dooku, and the only way he feels that they can achieve that is by telling her that he's a Jedi. She agrees to attempt to assassinate Dooku. Now the next part I can't really get into without saying some spoilers, so if you have interest in reading this novel, I would click away now, or if you just don't care, just keep watching. Ventress believes the only way to kill Count Dooku is with the dark side, which Vos is willing to take that step too. She takes him to her home planet of Dathomir to show him the destruction of her home world, what the Count has done to it, and why he needs to be stopped. She also lies to him and says that Dooku killed his master, but I'll get into that a bit later. Months go by, and Ventress continues to train Vos in the dark side. He learns how to force choke living beings, and how to use his lightsaber techniques in a more aggressive way. He also undertook some Night Sister trials in the dark side, which required him to kill some native sea monster, and he did, but it was kinda weird how they had it, I don't know. That was part of the book that I couldn't really like. It was cool seeing him use the dark side to kill the large sea monster, but the way it was, I don't know, it was just weird to imagine, but all you could imagine is that fish from the Phantom Menace, big gooper fish that Jar Jar says, so anyway. Also, something that happens during this, Ventress and Vos fall in love. We all know how that ends out for a certain Jedi, right? Yeah, so it's not gonna end well in this either. Once Ventress thinks Vos is ready, they set course to the separatist planet of Raxus, where Count Dooku lives. He is accepting an award. I forget what it's for, but that's not really important. Vos and Ventress find Dooku, and well, Ventress basically hits Dooku up, saying to meet her on the roof after his party, which he does. But also, he brings along his handy-dandy partner in crime, General Grievous. So it's a 2-on-2. Quinlan Vos and Asajj Ventress versus General Grievous and Count Dooku. Vos takes on Grievous and Ventress takes on Dooku, but to sum it up in short, Ventress gets thrown downstairs, Grievous goes after Ventress, separating the two. Count Dooku then attacks Vos, and well, he senses the dark side within him. And Dooku defeats Vos and captures him and takes him back to his castle palace thingy-majig. Months later, Vos becomes broken and one with the dark side. He has been tortured for months on end in Dooku's custody, and has fallen even more to the dark side. Dooku starts to even call Vos his apprentice, which Vos accepts. Eventually, when Dooku tells Vos that Asajj killed his master, and that she lied to him just to get what she wants, and what she wants is Dooku dead. Ventress stages multiple rescue attempts for Vos with bounty hunters like Boba Fett, Bossk, and Embo. It was nice to see Embo again, since we don't really know what happens to him after the Clone Wars. She fails and even fights Vos for a period of time at the castle, and well, she knows he is truly gone because he now has those signature yellow Sith eyes. Now I'm going to sum up the next part a lot because I'm dragging this on a lot, but Ventress visits the Jedi Council to inform them that Voss turned to the dark side, and the Council decides Ventress, Anakin, and Obi-Wan to be sent to rescue Quinlan Voss, which they do. But Ventress won't even talk to Voss after they rescue him, because she knew him best because, well, they fell in love, and she knows that the Quinlan that she knew is dead. But the arrogant Jedi do not believe that. Funny how that works, but after months of fighting again in the Clone Wars, Voss is starting to seem like a traitor. Certain things start to happen whenever he's around, like, from my memory, they go to a separatist base on an asteroid with highly secret plans and weapons for the separatists, and right when Quinlan goes away and searches by itself, there's bombs and it blows it up and everything's gone. This gets the Council worried that he's a separatist agent inside the Jedi Council. So Yoda does some weird Force stuff and realizes his soul is dark with the Force and that he should not be trusted. They send him to kill Dooku again to prove his loyalty to either the Council or Dooku. And well, he fails. He sides with Dooku, and Ventress even gets pissed because she's the one that has to save him and Voss. They end up on that planet that we see in the Clone Wars movie. I forget what it's called. It's like Christophsis. I'm pronouncing that wrong. I don't know. It's that one with all the crystals and stuff. If you're a Clone Wars fan, you know what I'm talking about. But Quinlan Voss, Saj Ventress, and Dooku go to the separatist base. There, and Republic forces led by Anakin and Obi-Wan follow and destroy the tower that they are on. Dooku is hurt severely, and Voss and Ventress ramble on about their future together, married. They get some cover after fighting with the Republic, etc., etc. But out of nowhere, Ventress senses Dooku and force pushes Voss out of the way and gets a direct hit. Note, she's already weak from a building collapsing on her. She gets hit with Dooku's Force lightning, sending her flying, and Voss goes to check on her, and well, she dies in his arms. And while that happens, Dooku escapes. I didn't touch on their romantic relationship a lot, but it's featured heavily in this novel. Voss takes her body back to Dathomir, where he buries her with her sisters. This is a tragic love story novel. Some things like when she dies, Voss tells her that he still has so many things that he wanted to tell her, like how beautiful she looked, how it felt the first time she touched him, etc. Seeing Ventress die was actually pretty sad. I started to care for her, especially in the Clone Wars TV show. If you are a fan of the Clone Wars, then I highly suggest this novel. It's basically episodes we never got to see, and the writing is perfect for the Clone Wars characters. You can just imagine the voice actors talking in this book. Anyway, I hope you all like this review, and looking at how long I've been talking, this will probably be my longest video yet. So this will be a hell to edit, so leave a like. It just takes a second of your time and it would mean a lot, especially for a long video like this. I'm currently now reading Star Wars Aftermath, but the other canon novels I've read are Lords of the Sith, Tarkin, Ahsoka, and Rogue One Catalyst. So if you want any reviews of those, comment down below which one you want to see. And if you are new, subscribe for daily Star Wars content. Also, this book I rank 3 out of 5 Death Stars. The First Order, signing off.